Hi, it's Mike Holiday here of Residential Estates, our brand new site, Clifton Park View in Rotherham. So, the development, well, it's 26 apartments. Previously, this was an old snooker hall, and we believe part of it as well was a solicitor block that has been converted into these really high-spec apartments. There's a mixture of one-bed studio apartments, and you'll see when we go into the apartments later on that even though we say studio apartments, they are really big in size. You know, you're talking 40, 50 square metres, some of them, really high spec, sort of separated bedrooms almost to them, even though the price is a studio apartment. But the developer's done a really good job here, really high spec on it. Like I say, location wise, really well located. To give you an idea on Rotherham, it's about a 17-minute train journey into Sheffield. We're about 40 minutes from Leeds as well. So really, you know, big cities that have got big pools of employment that, you know, people will live here and commute to it as well. Rotherham as a place has had a lot of regeneration into the area. So in 2021 it was awarded £31 million to really revamp the area, and you definitely get a feel for that. You know, when you walk around some of the blocks of it, some of the colleges, the university hospitals, you can tell a lot of money has been invested in it. You know, they're very quirky modern buildings, and it's clearly, you know, really helped the area. It's really helped the employment in the area because the demand for more apartments has shot up. So we're looking at this building from both a short-term let and a standard rental point of view. It will cover both of them. You know, purchase prices, you're talking between 75,000 and 95,000, and even on standard rentals, you're looking as high as 650, 700 pounds a month on some of them. So you can see, based on that, you know, some really good yields on standard rentals. But as always with us, it has the option as well to do short-term lets. And nightly rates here, you're looking at sort of around the £60 a night mark for the one beds, around 50 for the studio apartments as well. And typically we'd expect occupancy levels of around about 80% because the big pool of bookings here will be contractors in the area that'll be booking it. So they'll be looking more longer term bookings, hence why occupancy levels will be much higher. So we often have one about these sort of secondary locations, you know, feeders if you like to big city centres, and how the demand for corporate bookings comes into play. This is a prime example of that. Really good, low purchase prices, high rental options on it. You know, ideal for investors as well. So yeah, we'll have a look around the area and we'll show you some of the locations where we know we'll get bookings from. And as I say, we'll dive into a couple of the apartments as well to show you that way. Just up that way there, you've got the Rotherham Health Village, which is one of the areas that used part of the £31 million regeneration pot that was given to them by the government in 2021. You've also got the hospital, which is about a mile from here, so you get a lot of doctors, nurses, that will find Clifton Park View as a perfect base for them to stay as well. So you can see, quite quirky actually, a lot of the apartments on the ground floor have their own front door entrances. And there's only 26 apartments in the whole block, so you know, they've not tried to really squash in as many apartments as possible as some developers unfortunately do. It's certainly not been the case on this. And you can see we're in sort of a nice little busy area, town centre just up there. We've got Clifton Park, which is to the back of this building, real nice green space. As you can see, real nice building. And we will dive into a few of these apartments to show you how they look inside. So I wanted to sort of give you an example of one of the apartments in Clifton Park View. So I'm in one of the ground floor flats, unit 3, which is just over 50 square metres, so really big in size. It's a one bedroom apartment. One of the great features this one's got, and some of the other ground floor apartments, is that it has its own front door. So they're not having to go through communal areas to get in there, which is a real big, you know, added feature on it. But let's have a look in. As I say, it's a conversion of a previous building. So sometimes you find with conversions, they can be slightly strange in terms of room layouts and stuff like that. But often that leads way to, you know, areas where you can actually really maximise your returns because you can get quite creative with it. And this is a prime example of that. So this is the lounge area that we are in here. So obviously big space here where you can have your lounge, your sofa, TV, seating area, everything like that. But then you have this little bit of space here, which is more than big enough for the likes of a sofa bed. So even though it's a 1-bedroom apartment, you can really maximise it by sort of almost letting it out as a 2-bedroom property, which will work well on short-term lets in particular. This is the bedroom. So really good size. Typically on an AST for this, you're looking around about £650 a month. And given that the purchase price is 85,000, that's a good just over 9% gross yield on it, which is really good for a standard rental. Short-term let potential much higher. You know, for a 1-bedroom apartment, you're looking around the £63, £65 a night, and typical occupancies here around the 80% mark. So quite comfortably you can get to the sort of 11% net yield, which is, you know, terrific on it. So let's have a look at the bathroom area. You can see real nice finish in these, and the kitchens as well. So real good finish. All have the fridge freezers, all have got the washer dryers on it as well. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a good feel. Like I said, I just wanted to dive in one of the apartments. They're all really well, nicely finished here. But it just shows on conversions, you can get quite creative, and actually what seems is a 1-bedroom apartment, you can use it from a rental point of view as a 2-bed. So really quirky and will work well for investors. So I also wanted to show you one of the studio apartments here in Clifton Park View. Often when you think of studios, you think of really small, sort of cramped apartments, and this is completely not like that. This has got a feel of a 1-bed, even on paper, because in size-wise, it's just over 40 square metres, which is a good size 1-bed in general terms, but for a studio, really good size. It's got its own little porchway, again, front door leading out to the front, which will be really popular, particularly on the short-term let side of it as well. But if you come into the main area, big, you know, large windows, so letting a lot of light into it. And what I like about this for a studio is it actually has a separated bedroom space. Again, some studios don't, it's all in one space, and you know, if you cook and clean and you've got smells that way, it's not ideal. This is very different to that. It has its own separated space, as you can see here on it, which is nice. And that has this feature here of the sort of windows covering that area, the sort of frosted glass, and then has the usual kitchens like we saw in the 1-bed, and nice bedroom space. So yeah, studio apartments, they work really well. We've often talked about it, particularly on the short-term let size. You know, they're equivalent to people booking the likes of a Premier Inn, a Travelodge type room, whereas with this, you've got your own kitchen facilities, everything like that. So nightly rates for this would be looking probably around the £50 a night mark. With occupancy, we'd expect to easily achieve 80% across the full year. So again, you're looking around the sort of 11% mark comfortably in terms of net yield, given that the purchase price here of this one, I think, is just over £75,000 on it. If you're looking at it from a normal rental point of view, again, really good yield on it. Comfortably, this will get £550 a month, which is what the local letting agent has said. I think probably would stretch a little bit more given the size of it and its particular layout. So potentially £600 a month, which again, on a £75,000 purchase price, is really good and getting you a really good yield. So yeah, studios, but really nice, big, spacious studios, and definitely worth a look. So we're in part of the town centre here of Rotherham. I like to get a feel of the area itself. You can see in the distance there some regeneration, more buildings being built. Nice cathedral here. Got the markets over this side, but it's got a real nice sort of busy feel to it. It has that Yorkshire feel with the particular brick that you often see in the Yorkshire areas. But yeah, real nice little town. You can see there's a lot of employment in the area, and you can see it working really well, as I mentioned, on both longer term rentals and short term rentals. So I'm 10 minutes outside of Rotherham town centre here at the Advanced Manufacturing Business Park, which is home to some really large companies. You've got Rolls-Royce, as you can see, just in the background there. To the back of me we have Niken, and we have the likes of Airbus, who we already have a partnership with in terms of booking apartments back in our home city of Chester. But why is this important? Well, as you know, with the new site, the big plan will be for corporate lets, for short-term accommodation, and these sort of business parks where they get, you know, a lot of employees that need accommodation for, you know, months at a time, our new site, Clifton Park View, will be perfect for that in Rotherham Town Centre. As I say, it's only a 10-15 minute drive from here, but as you can see, we're in a very, very remote location, so it's not like there's accommodation nearby it. They are going to need to go and travel to the likes of Rotherham to find accommodation to stay. So this is why these sort of locations are perfect for us. You know, the prices are really affordable levels, but it's near big business parks that have with them huge employment and a lot of staff that need accommodation to stay in. So yeah, I thought it was worthwhile just showing you here. You know, we expect a big pool of tenants. My property hosts who are looking to manage the apartments, they have other accommodation in Rotherham, and a lot of their bookings come from this advanced manufacturing business park. So worth a look up online as well, just to see the sheer scale of it. I believe there's about 40 large corporate companies just on this business park alone. So yeah, great sign for the rental, again from a long-term and short-term let point of view.